Get your bargains here. Footballers, 2 for a fiver. Takes me back to my market days, that. Welcome to Match of the Day Top 10, the BBC Sounds podcast that knows where to find value. Today, we're talking transfer bargains. Players bought for a song who produced beautiful music for their new club. We're not talking cheap players. Yes, Al, 3.6 million for you was great value, but that's not what we mean by a bargain. Nor are we talking Bosman-free transfers, Micah. What we mean are those players practically pinched from their selling club. You won't agree with our list, and you definitely won't agree with our order, but that's okay. Tell us what you think on Twitter using the hashtag MOTD Top 10. So here's our list of 10. Obviously, these are decided for us before anyone starts complaining. We've got Paolo Di Canio, 1.5 million from Sheffield Wednesday to West Ham. Seamus Coleman, a bare £60,000 from Sligo Rovers to Everton. Jamie Vardy, £1 million from Fleetwood Town to Leicester City. Kolo Touré, £150,000 from ASEC Mimosas, an Ivorian club, to Arsenal. Eric Cantona, £1.2 million from Leeds to Manchester United. Riyad Mahrez, £450,000 from Le Havre to Leicester City. Andy Robertson, we jump a bit here, but £8 million from Hull to Liverpool. Lucas Radibi, £250,000 from the Kaiser Chiefs to Leeds United. Peter Schmeichel, £505,000. Don't know why there's extra £5,000 on there. From Bromby to Manchester United. And Robin van Persie, £2.75 million from Feyenoord to Arsenal. So there are our top 10. First, let's talk personal transfers. Alan, you were quite young when you moved from Southampton to Blackburn, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a pretty. It was scary leaving home at 15 and going down to Southampton.
Yeah.
And I got sort of used to that and really enjoyed it, and it was one of the best things I ever did in terms of growing up. But then, when it comes to moving again, it was a British record transfer fee at the time.
Definitely not a bargain, then.
It was definitely a bargain from Southampton to Blackburn. It was. I just didn't know what to expect, how it was going to work. It was just.
How did it come about? I'm sure people are interested to know. I mean, we can all tell our own stories, but how did it come about? Was your contract up?
When I was leaving Blackburn to go to Newcastle, I made the decision to go and speak to Kevin. Just once more, Kevin Keegan, and I left my home, and I said to the missus, "Look, and the kids, I'm just going to go and meet Kevin Keegan, of all places, in Manchester. He's going to fly to the Far East. I'm going to meet him before he flies. So I'll be 2 or 3 hours." So I went for talks again, and I thought, that's it. I'm going to sign for Newcastle. I rang the missus up back home, and I said, "I'm going to sign." And I said, "You're going to have to pack me a bag, put it in a taxi, send it to Manchester Airport, because I'm about to get on a plane."
Say please.
Absolutely. So she did. She sent me a bag packed to the airport in a taxi, and I never, ever went back to that house. I flew to the Far East, signed, did what I had to do with Newcastle, and flew straight back into Newcastle. And I thought it was a great excuse, so I didn't have to help pack the house up.
Good move. And then... what about you, Michael? What was your biggest transfer fee? Because you were on a Bosman, because I mentioned it in that thing. Mm-hmm. That's a good situation to be in for a player.
Yeah, it is.
If anyone wants to.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a difficult place to be in, because I'd gone past my prime. If I was being totally... Yeah, the wrong thing, man.
That's cool. That was a joke. Sorry.
And you sort of... So what happened, I was at Man City, I'd come back from injuries, and I went on loan to Fiorentina. I was supposed to go to Spurs. Spurs had a deal agreed for me. Last minute, Man City said they don't want to sell me to Spurs. I was like, fine. So then I go to Fiorentina on deadline day, And I didn't know what because like for players in my era didn't really go abroad, so I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I went on the plane.
Florence, beautiful.
Yeah, Florence. You say you get the call from agents, they're interested. Eduardo used to be at Liverpool, I think chief exec, something like that, and he went to Fiorentina and wanted me there. And then I got there, and I was like, wow, this is the biggest mistake of my life.
Why?
Mistake.
All right. Just because it was a different culture. No one really spoke English.
Well, it's Italy.
I know, yeah, but I expected...
That's what normally happens in another country,
So I go there, I'm in some hotel, and I'm not big time, but it was only like a 3 or 4 star hotel, do you know what I mean? I was used to the finer things. I come from Man City, where we had our own plane, for God's sake.
Can I just say at this point, so you've gone from Manchester to Florence, and you're going, this is the worst mistake of my life.
But hear me out. So then I go there, and the training ground's really small, but then Marcos Alonso was there. He saved me, to be honest, because he spoke English. And then he took me out. We had all the medical. My medical took, honestly, about 12 hours.
Wonder why.
I can't believe they signed me off to him because my knee was in a bad way. And then, I went to training, got to meet the guys, they were really, really nice. And then Alonso took me out, and I was like,
that was it. Now you're
talking.
talking.
It was a night out that did it for
it
you,
was a night out. Forget the football. We didn't go on football. We got a year's holiday.
All of a sudden, that 3-star hotel wasn't a problem.
He introduced me to some 5-star hotels, and it was just brilliant.
There we go. Right.
Okay.
We've got a list here. Micah, why don't you go? We'll do what we normally do. We'll go from your 10 to 6 in reverse order. I mean, there's some good bargains in there, that's for sure.
Yeah. We'll go with Robertson, number 10.
Yeah.
8 million quid.
Yeah,
I think that was it was a great buy coming from Hull. I see him in the playoff final as well. You could see he was going to be top. I've gone Coleman, number 9. Seamus Coleman. He should have been further down the list, but I like my bargains to win something.
No harm in not winning anything. Or a lot.
Yeah.
I've gone Radaby, number 8.
Radaby.
Lucas Radaby. Yeah. And again, you know what? I'm going to go Di Canio, number 7.
Is that a late change?
Yeah, it's a late change. I've looked at it. Yeah.
And 6?
Mahrez. I've got Mahrez 6. Yeah. The late change. The late change.
Is that because he ended up costing City so much?
Yeah, he's
okay.
It annoys me from time to time, but yeah.
All right.
The late change.
Well, we'll start with Andy Robertson. I mean, he is significantly more expensive than anyone else, and I think we probably wanted someone that represented what Liverpool have done so well, and there's no question, even at 8 million, he was still an unbelievable bargain. What a player. Would you take him over Trent?
No.
As fullback?
No, I wouldn't take him over Trent. I know Trent's going through a difficult time at this moment, but I think one season he got 13 assists. The other, he got 12, and the amount of chances he creates. For a fullback, apart from Cancelo, I've not seen a fullback like Trent. So he would just edge it. But I didn't expect Robertson to get to this level. Tini was always the one who I thought was the better one, and he's starting to show how good he is now. But for £8 million for a modern-day fullback, 8 million quid who can defend and attack.
Robertson also, he very, very rarely misses a game. I mean, from Dundee United, I think it was, wasn't it, to Hull and then to Liverpool. I mean, although it was 8 million, it's still an unbelievable bargain. Yeah,
certainly was. Right, quite low down. You've already kind of half explained why. Seamus Coleman at 9. 60,000 quid from Sligo.
He's a lot lower in my list. 60 grand.
60
grand says it all. The number of games that he's played. Had a serious injury as well.
Yeah.
Come back from injury. Everton fans love him, and rightly so, because of what he's done.
He actually started as right wing in his career, didn't he? I think I've seen some interviews where he said that. And so then
another one who went further back.
Further back. But he actually it helps his game because he's got the space to run into, and he has got a good. It's a shame that
shameless.
he's shameless that Everton, he didn't start Everton now, where they're a good, very good team. And
is that a fair thing, though, to put against someone that haven't won anything? Because it rather depends at the club you're at as well, because they've not... Clubs like Everton over the last few... Obviously, in my generation, Everton were one of the great sides, but, they've been struggling with that. They're just on the periphery of things.
Yeah, in terms of consistency in game, it always makes it that much better. And you get a little bit more respect for the player if they've won something.
Right, Lucas Radebe. You have to go back a bit from that. Can you remember Lucas?
Yeah, I remember him again.
250,000 from Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa.
He was fast. He was strong, intelligent.
But didn't he come as a sort of a deal with another player, Masinga?
But that makes it so much better.
He came into Leeds as part of that to, I don't know, maybe even keep him company. I don't know. So to turn out in the way he did, and I know he struggled with injuries a lot of his career. But I mean, what a bargain! Yeah,
a bargain. What, 250k?
Something like that.
250k, and if you speak to any Leeds fan, because I'm in the league, they say he's the best centre half they've ever had. So for 250 grand,
for nothing, isn't it?
Again, but they didn't win anything, Leeds. So in terms of bargain, he might have been further up there, but he didn't win anything.
Lucas Radebe.
Yeah, he was reliable, quick, could play, decent in the air. It's for nothing. Nicked him. As I said, he was part of someone else's deal. So
that happens occasionally, though, doesn't it? But normally, it's not. You don't get much of a player with the second one, do you?
Not with the second one, no. But he was. He's obviously the exception. So he's. He was excellent.
Okay, Paolo Di Canio's in there. Sheffield Wednesday. West Ham, 1.5 million. You got that in 7. I'm not. Paolo Di Canio. I mean, that was a few quid back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he lit up.
He did.
He lit up, didn't he? It was fireworks, wasn't he? I used to love watching him. Me and I was looking.
Remember the. I mean, we shouldn't laugh, but I'm sure we're going to know the incident with the referee, Paul Alcott.
When he pushes him.
Nigel Winterburn went for him and he went back to him and
he went down too easy there.
The referee stumbled back.
Yeah. Tiny bit of contact.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Just a bit. Yeah. But he was a maverick, wasn't he?
He was. He also got the impression that he was slightly bonkers.
He was definitely slightly. He was different. Yeah.
Yeah, but we like characters, don't we?
Yeah.
Right, Riyad Mahrez. Well, I mean, I'm surprised here, Mike. Really surprised that he's in your bottom half, and not because 450,000 quid from Le Havre, and that's in relatively modern times, about 2014, something like that. And he came to Leicester, and he was part of the magical mystery tour that led to the Premier League title. He's then gone to Manchester City for a load more money and has been brilliant there as well and won more titles. Why is he only in 6th?
I don't know if because I watch City, he frustrates me.
Really? He frustrates you?
He's got the best touch ever.
That is frustrating, to be honest.
He's got the best touch ever. And then he messes around when he could just... He could score 25 goals a season. I love him.
When you say messes around in terms of what? Trying to get on that left foot and whip it in the top corner?
He just dilly-dallies on it too much for me.
He turns people inside out.
I think he's one of the best wingers ever.
One of the best wingers ever.
450k.
Too expensive, was it?
He's magnificent.
Did he come to Leicester when the season before the league, when they were struggling at the bottom? So he played his part in that, and then the next season winning the league as well. Yeah,
he was there, and he was unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable in that season.
But the thing I would say about Mahrez is that most of the time, we and defenders know what he's going to do, but not many can stop him.
Like Robin.
It's all right. It's all right saying, well, we know what he wants to do. He wants to get and cut in on that left foot and whip it in, but he does it so well and does it so quickly that it's sometimes it's impossible to stop him because he's that good at it.
Unbelievable player. Al, your 10 to 6. Please.
My 10 to 6. I've gone Paolo Di Canio 10. I've gone Andy Robertson 9. Lucas Radebe 8, Riyad Mahrez, 7.
Oh, you got him low as well. In fact, you got the
And
same box.
Robin van Persie, on 6.
So Robin van Persie, 2.75 million from Feyenoord to Arsenal. Obviously, latterly moved to Manchester United as well.
Had a great shot on him, got it away early. So yeah, he was a great bargain, and a number.
You remember when we did the top 10 strikers goal?
Good ones, though, weren't there?
Yeah, well, with the odd exception.
What did you say it was? 2.7 million.
2.75 million. That's
What was he missing then as a striker?
Nothing.
Nothing? So
I would say
why did he not get in your top 10 strikers? Because, you know, like...
we don't pick them. Funnily enough, there are no Newcastle bargains in this list, though.
Well, I should have been the bargain on there as well for 15 million.
50 million?
15,
50,
leaving...
15 million?
For leaving... Yeah, absolutely, 10 years, goals.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
Great bargain.
15 million back then was worth a lot now.
It was, yeah. Still a bargain, though.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Robin van Persie, he also went to Manchester United and he proved he could do it at 2 clubs. He was brilliant there as well, wasn't he?
He was just a brilliant player. I don't think anyone can get away from that. He delivered performances and delivered goals. He was a great goal scorer.
Okay.
Superb.
Right, we're into the top 5. Alan, you continue with yours.
Okay, I've gone in 5th. I've gone Kolo Toure.
Cool. Yeah, go on.
I've gone Seamus Coleman 4.
Wow, not a lot higher there, that one.
I've gone Peter Schmeichel 3.
Yeah.
I've gone Eric Cantona 2.
Yeah. Hey, the winner
and
is
Jamie Vardy 1.
Yeah, and yours, Micah?
Yes, I've gone Van Persie 5.
Not much difference.
Kolo Toure 4.
Not much difference again.
Schmeichel 3.
Same. Wow.
Vardy 2.
Oh.
Eric Cantona. Cantona. I say Cantona. You got to have Cantona number 1. What is it? 1.2 million.
It was way back though.
Yeah, but it's still 1.2 million.
More money than Vardy costs.
Vardy should be number 1, really. But I think it's because he's...
But you haven't
No,
put him
but
there.
hold on. Let me give it... But because he's my era, I just feel like growing up as a kid, like, even though I hated, like, obviously he's at Leeds, even though I hated Man United, it was still Cantona. And I loved him as a character, so he has to get my number 1.
We'll come to whys and wherefores in a moment. But first, Kolo Toure, you've got him in similar position, 4th and 5th. Another great song. Can you sing that song?
Colo.
Yeah, sorry. That's one of the best ever, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Wait, he's like, he's like,
dancing is brilliant, isn't it? Have you seen it when Stevie Gerrard does it?
yeah, he's proper going for it as well, isn't he? He's brilliant.
Good. Love that, yeah. And that aside, obviously, terrific players. Now got Brendan Rodgers coaching staff.
Yeah,
he
he
was
is,
at Celtic. And apparently he's a wonderful influence at the
I didn't
club.
expect that, to be honest, though.
Why?
Not it would be a coach. He was the nicest man ever.
Yeah.
He worked hard. Obviously, come from Arsenal, and he was a great leader. But he never did anything after training in terms of wanting to coach. He was more arm round his shoulder sort of guy, and sort of believe in your own abilities. So I'm glad to see him as a coach now. Hopefully, one day he can get a good job.
We're actually talking about his time at Arsenal here, obviously, because they bought him for 150,000 from ASEC Mimosas.
Well, when you look at, we've mentioned this 60 grand that Seamus Coleman cost. So then, what was it, 150 grand, did he say?
Yeah.
And the appearances, number of years, really unbelievable.
And he won a Prem, 2 FA Cups at Arsenal, I think. Invincibles. He's top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Not bad. Right, you concur on 3rd place, bronze medal position for Schmeichel, not Kasper, but Peter. And I think when we did the top 10 goalkeepers, he came out number 1.
Well, look at the influence that he had. I mean, the size of him, what he did for the club, what he did for the defenders. He was whole club at such a huge time. I mean, the trophies, just everything. So yeah. He had to be in there.
Yeah, he was...
you overcame your Manchester United bias for this one.
Kasper. If someone's top-notch, I've got to say it. And
Kasper
was at Man City with me.
Yeah. Oh,
and he used to come and watch training, obviously. And he was just a giant of a man. He was like, but he never used to smile. He just used to look at you. And like, what are you looking at, mate?
Same when you played against him.
And then,
against him a few times.
But I work with him now on Champions League, and he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Yeah. So he was a trailblazer, wasn't he? And yeah, number 3, thoroughly deserved, I think.
Yeah. Right. In second, right, here we go. Here's the debate, isn't it? I'm going to have to hike the hair.
Hey, oh, look at this. I thought you were impartial. I'm going to have to...
No bias.
No bias.
No, I've not said anything yet. I've not said anything yet. All I'm saying is we've got
know what you're going to say, that's why.
Alan, you've got Cantona at 2, Micah at 1. Alan, you've got Vardy at 1. And you, Micah, you've got... you were already trying to explain that why Cantona was your number.
He used to have his collar
up.
turned up, didn't he? He used to go into school. He just used to think he was Cantona. He's iconic. He's got everything.
How old are you?
32.
Is that all you are?
That's all I am, yeah.
A tough life,
I'm a young... How old are you guys?
I'm nearly twice your age.
Okay.
I'm 60.
And how old are you, Alan?
50.
We're round figures.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're looking good for your ages, guys. I can't see me doing this in 20 years.
The way you're going, it'll be 20 minutes.
So, Cantona.
And he could be as arrogant as he wanted to with the ability that he had. But I just think with Jamie Vardy, to come from
non-league football at the time,
non-league
not now,
football
but they were
to be one of the best in the best league in the world, I think. So to come from there to there is phenomenal, and I think it just gives everyone who plays at that level hope. And there are so many good players around.
You know, kind of Sunday football, non-league football.
To go from there to Leicester, to winning the league, to playing for England.
Yeah. And playing the same way, that's important, isn't it? Always running in behind. How many fast strikers do you see for the youth? I think, they're going to be amazing. As soon as they get to the top level.
Well, that's the thing. It's one thing getting there. It's another thing staying there, because everyone knows his game. Everyone knows he's quick and what he likes to do and what he's good at. But there's not many people being able to stop him. So to come from that level to have done that is a great story.
I was playing. You probably was watching the game. It was Villa, Leicester, and we was winning. I think at half time. Can't remember the score, but you come back and 1-3-2. I think Nathan Dyer scored.
Oh, that's.
Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
And he just winked at me back, and I was like, "This player,
he gets you back, doesn't he?
He's just he couldn't get past me."
And then
he keeps going and going and going, and he's relentless. We talk about people being fit. He makes intelligent runs. He just run around like headless chicken, and he press you. And I thought I'd got there, and that's what he draws you into a false sense of security, thinking that you've got him, and then he just keeps going.
You can always have the laugh.
Always
as a forward.
The laugh.
The last laugh. Sorry, as a forward, can't you?
Who's going to make an argument here against Cantona? Why not Cantona first for you?
If you decide to put Cantona number 1, I'm not going to argue because of what he achieved, what he did at United, the respect that he had and still has, and rightly so. Yeah. He can be number 1. The only reason I put Jamie Vardy at number 1 is because it was £1 million, and he'd come from non-league to come in and win the league, to play for England, to win a Golden Boot, to be as good as he has done, has been in the biggest and best league in the world. That's why I've put him as number 1.
They're both characters as well. Real characters. I mean, you know, they're both that kind of strut. And Vardy's celebrations against teams when they have a pop at him and all that.
Do you know what? I listened to Brendan do an interview about Jamie Vardy, and I thought it was absolutely right in what he said about Jamie Vardy. He fears no one. Respects him, yes, but he fears no one. And you can see that in the way he plays and his attitude. And he's got a strut about him, and so he should after what he's achieved.
Yeah. I think I just went Cantona. I think it's 4 Premier League he had, and was it 2 FA Cups? So
he was playing for Manchester United.
I know, yeah, but it's easy to say that, but you got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to do it. So he just edged it for me. And I think Eric Cantona, it was a song for me. Ooh, Cantona, just...
Yeah. Okay, well, if it's... We'll come to top 10 songs for players at some point. So that's it. All it's left to do, really, is for me to decide the winner, because that's what happens.
Let's see how impartial you are now.
And it won't surprise you to know that I've gone for Eric Cantona.
Really?
To be second.
Hey!
And I love Jamie Vardy. Obviously, he's one of he plays in the same position as me, and it's my team. And I absolutely admit I'm completely biased, and I don't care. You can have your say anyway. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. As always, have your say on Twitter using the hashtag #MOTDTop10. Until next time, goodbye.